Wait a minute, this one might be out there, but that one. Hold on. Nope, not that one either. No, that one's not. I know, but I'm still gonna use it. That's all the.
I think that's that.
That's all. Oh, upstairs.
Yeah.
This was upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh well, it works good.
Every time I come down here, he's more messed up. I cussed Dad out earlier.
I am live though. Well, go ahead. Nobody's here yet. Hey, Deborah.
I can't defend myself.
Okay. I should save the family drama for when I get off.
Wait, okay. No, I need to defend myself.
Okay.
I had my hand on the console.
Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Pete.
Like this. My hand was straight on the console, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he punched it on accident. It wasn't an accident. Mm-hmm. We were messing around. He hit it too hard. Mm-hmm. And I said, F you. Because it hurt so bad.
High state of disorder.
It wasn't out of disrespect. It was out of pain. He pained me on my hand. Okay.
He pained you. See the problems I got to deal with? And
I love you, Mom.
I love you too, baby. Watcher, how are you? Watcher, you like me have been in everybody's shit today. I have been going to drama over here, little drama over there. The drama side, my God, son, and I love you. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, y'all hit that thing. So I thought we would do a little, if y'all aren't watching Truman versus the Swans, that's fun. Do a little, hello, name. Oh, well, there you go. I love you. We love you. We'll talk a little bit about Ann Woodward. If you are watching the Swans, Capote versus the Swans on Hulu, a Ryan Murphy vehicle. Some of it is a little bit confusing. Hey, Smokey P. Smokey P is in the house. So to prove that I have been a fan of these people, and I mean they're all dead, right? Yeah, I'm gonna prove you how long I've been following this storyline. Hey, Smokey, you know what? Listen, I love Daniel Suarez. He said those my boys are. I usually only have one, but then last year, I started getting a lot more. So, Kevin Harvick was my guy. Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, and Ross Chastain. So this year, I'm Ross Chastain. No, lie. Number 1, Bubba Wallace. Number 2, Ross Chastain. Number 3, Ryan Blaney. But oh my God, don't even talk about it. Bubba has finished like second 100 times. Not 100 times, but a lot on super speedways, especially Daytona. And so I really had high hopes. But it's Daytona. You're Denny Hamlin. There you go. It's Daytona, and you cannot rule. It's the big one. It's going to happen. Hey, Rachel, I'm sorry, everybody. Come on in. It's Daytona. You can't count on anybody. It just because, like I said, it's always the big one. So we get to Atlanta, and I think, all right, not as big, pretty big though. Try me, bitch. Wait, know it. Oh, thank you, try me, bitch. I appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, it was a great race. I can't wait to. I miss it so much, Smokey P. On a Saturday, on a Sunday, I miss it. I'm really not a football kind of, I like football, I'll watch it, but you put me in front of that TV at a race, and we got to, we're going to have food, we're going to have drinks, we're going to have everything. I was really flipping. Yeah. And do you remember, Smokey P? I'm gonna talk about this. I know y'all women, other people who don't follow racing are bored right now, but trust me. Do you remember, Smokey P? Back when Jimmy Johnson got there, when Jeff Gordon got there, when who was it? I want to say Kurt Busch. I might be wrong on that, but there was always a gentleman's agreement that if there was a wreck and and a caution, you didn't race back to the line. Absolutely, it was gentleman's agreement. And I believe it was one of them three idiots I am named that almost killed Bobby Labonte by racing back to the checkered way back in when. So then over the years, right, you don't pay gentleman's agreement. Now we're getting to where we're getting these new kids in that look like toddlers, and the already regimented rule system. We're gonna have to get Beth, the advocate. We're gonna have to thank you so much, honey. We're gonna have to go back to setting new rules, because what I saw at Atlanta and what I saw at Daytona, they'll kill you on the second lap and they don't really give a shit. Hey, K9 Charlie, they don't give three shits. So I don't know what's gonna happen. All the new kids that came on are retiring now. And I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Me and Smokey P are gonna have a racing show, a racing wrap-up show. We should do that, Smokey P. Racing wrap-up, where you'll talk about your things and I'll talk about mine. Yeah, second damn lap. What the hell's wrong with you? Forgive my name, Griff gave. Oh, that's fine, Bad. That's fine. Yeah, I was telling watch. I have been watching for a couple of days now, all the drama, going on over, and I forgot, what did we call it? I forgot what, because we always have to have a name for communities, and I don't even think we remember what the name was. But over there with, you know what I'm about, Ernie, which Ernie Shell, if you're watching, and I know you're not, stop talking about me. Stop mentioning my name, Ernie Shell. My name is not a stiff dick, so don't put it in your mouth, okay? I know you like to do that shit. And also, stop worrying about me. Stop worrying about where your next pair of socks are coming from. All right, you broke fuck? You got me? You got me, Ern? Okay, good. Cale Yarborough, oh, may he rest in peace. My Uncle Dick Carter, stock already. Oh. Hey, Ocean Tide. I am going to put a link at. Oh, shit. I just undid my necklace that's been on my body for 13 years. I mean, exactly, Freeside. He's done it twice. He's weird as fuck, Smokey P. He is weird. And he said, I had you crying or whatever. No. If y'all will remember correctly. He called me up to his panel one other time. And I got up there. And I had him stuttering. And then he booted me. And then he raged for 5-10 minutes. You don't want a part of this, Ernie. You don't want a part of this. Worried about your fucking defective socks and why everybody keeps stealing your fucking shoes, which is a fucking lie too. Don't waste your time over here. Nah. We might just do drama tonight. What the fuck? We might just do drama. I don't do drama very often anymore. So I don't even care. But if y'all want to come up, we're going to talk about this Ann Woodward that is played by Demi Moore. Hey, True Threats. That is played by Demi Moore and Ryan. This book is so old. I'm telling y'all, I've been a fan forever and ever. Hey, Shadow. Hey, Shadow, I love you. All right, here we go. Hold on. So this is a book. Hold on, let me see. Where is it? Oh, come over here. All right. The Crazy Thing Called Love. Now, this is a book about Ann Woodward and her husband, Billy. Ann Woodward was a mess. I almost say that. So my dad told me. Oh! You know, Ange, I would love to have. Well, I ain't dead yet, but it probably is where your daredevil side comes. There is nothing like sitting at a race, right? And it's getting ready to start. And you hear the command, drivers, or now gentlemen, it used to be gentlemen, drivers, start your engines. And the concrete under you is shaking ever so. And it's so loud, you can't, it's just, give me the goosebumps. It's great. I love them. I love a damn race. I do. But now I'm old. So I like to be able to sit on the sofa. Oh, dang. I love a book. And I've got so many that I need to read that I've bought and bought and bought and bought and bought. It's kind of like starting 50 Harleys. And I say 40 Harleys at one time. Nice little baby, how are you? The car. Yeah, it gets in the smell. My husband wants them to come up, and I think they have, with the smell, a candle of race fuel and rubber. Because when those cars go around that track, especially on them turns, it's pieces of rubber, like little round ones, right? And depending on how good your seats are, is how covered up you come. You come home either you're, with shit everywhere, and it just doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. The smell that's a smell. It's that smell. So he was trying to find one. I think he did find one. I don't think he's ordered though. Maybe I'll write that down for Father's Day. Let me put on my little paper here. Racing candle. There we go. There we go. I'll let y'all know if it is. Yeah, that burnt rubber. It's so fun. It makes, you're drilling. It really does. Now, back here in the day, they used to run the race on like our country station is one of them. Is WYYD. And they used to run the race on that. Was it RPM? RPM, I think. Oh, Bristol's it though. And so you could listen to the race. I got a damn ticket one time listening to the race, trying to go to the store. And the cop said, "Are you listening to the race?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Maybe you should not drive when you're doing that." I'm like, "Okay. Thank you for this ticket." He did not give me a ticket. So, yeah, Bristol's a great. I live in Virginia. So Bristol is one, I consider it one of my tracks. I got a couple. North Wilkesboro, Smokey P. You got to know, right, that in the day, my mother worked for Lowe's, okay, in the corporate offices. Not Lowe's Motor Speedway, Lowe's that was the Lowe's headquarters were in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. I was there in a suite. In the mom was in the suite. Who was it? Paul Newman, shit you not, and Tom Cruise walked through the thing because they caught the beginning of the race. This was before they made, what the hell is that movie called? What was that movie called? What is it called? Days of Thunder. It was before they even started making Days of Thunder. So, and I've been to, I don't know how many races there. I remember Jeff Bowdoin. I hated that son of a bitch. He, at North Wilkesboro, their winner's circle was on top of the concession stand and all that. So they'd have to lift the car up. And that damn ugly ass Jeff Bowdoin won, and he took the top of it. He unzipped the top of his suit. I don't need to see that because I was down there. All right, no more racing talk. These people don't know about racing. We're gonna talk about racing, and then we're not. We already did that. All right, who is? Hey, Sean and Britt, what are you doing? I'm great. How are you? I miss you, around. I do. Back in the day, with all those people in there, Sean and Britt are just dropping dead left and right. I can't. All right. Is anybody in here actually watching The Feud on Hulu? If you're not, it's okay. I'm glad you're doing well. When you come back up the West Coast, if y'all ever come, no, the East Coast, let me know. We'll stop and have lunch. Let me see. Sean the Brit. Nobody's watching. But you've heard of Truman Capote. Band-Aid. Band-Aid, I'm going to act like I'm just talking to you. Let me put this back in here again. Because y'all can come up. Even if you haven't. I don't care if you have or not. Oh, shit. Let me hit the right button. My godfather was vice president. Food City. I had no idea that. Smokey B, I did not know that. That shit ain't no joke. I try to tell people that shit ain't no joke. No joke. And my daughter last week had the flu. She'd had COVID maybe a month before, and then she got the flu. I don't know which was worse, quite frankly. They were both bad. I caught COVID my wife's weekend. Yeah. Happy birthday, Zen. All right, I'll speak louder. So, because I know you're cooking. That's what I will do. All right, so anyway, I'll tell you this now. Truman Capote was a writer. Okay. Obviously. He wrote this book, In Cold Blood, this is the first ever nonfiction novel. And he did it. And it reads like a dream. It really does. I am so happy I bought this book. It reads like a dream, but it is so. He's got so many details in this book about the two murders and about the family that got murdered. It's just a dream to read. So I was a little shocked because I thought I knew everything there was. And believe me, I think I did. No, I'm just kidding. I did not realize how closely from the start that Truman Capote was involved in the murderers, in the town, in their cases, in their everydays. He was very involved because as soon as these murders took place, it went to national news. And he is in New York. They are in Iowa. I can't remember. And he brought his good friend who was, had not written To Kill a Mockingbird yet, his best friend from childhood, with him. She took all the notes. He did his usual Truman. And, together it was amazing. I won't say that made him famous because he was already a little famous. He was famous for, like, he would do articles for, the upper echelon of magazines, just Town and Country and stuff like that. And that's when he started to meet his swans. And one by one, considering where he came from in life, which was down in Alabama, a son that neither his father nor his mother really wanted. He got taken off to where his aunts lived, and they raised him. And he was extremely intelligent. But, yeah, he was a big celebrity. But, like, when this, it was like you started asking yourself, it's kind of like, okay, if you had to, well, I guess we all could, though. I was going to say, if you could explain why Kim Kardashian is famous, you'd go, but we know, never mind, we know exactly. That's probably not the best. Probably not the best thing I can make. he really became famous for being famous. He's like, all right, Zsa Zsa Gabor. Do y'all remember her? I hope. I'm probably gonna be. Is this what I don't. I think that it's on Hulu and FX. Actually, a little lost. So I think we're all talking about the same thing. But Zsa Zsa Gabor, if you ask anybody what made Zsa Zsa Gabor famous, that is before she smacked the cops and all that, they could not tell you. They could not tell you. I've got answered prayers in my car. I'm trying to read it, but we'll get to that in a second. So all of these, matronly, he kind of, I'm trying to think of the right thing. How does a little kid, funny looking, funny speaking, little kid from Alabama come to New York and become a sensation for just writing articles or maybe a long story? He did write, as we know. If y'all don't know, you should now. He wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's. The book is very different from the film. Very different. He wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's more about his mother. In the book, you know that she's a prostitute. In the movie, it is, it's suggested. You didn't know it. And the book is very different. I've read that too. So he slowly started to make his way up the social ladder. That's really all he cared about. Let me tell you, I've said this before. It is so hard. It must be so hard to pull off the mannerisms, the voice, all of it, and not seem really campy. It's Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like I said before, I forgot I was watching Philip Seymour Hoffman. Speaking of that movie, that's when I learned, stupid me, that's when I learned all of the influence that Truman Capote had on that trial. Chaos. I did not know he had so much influence. I didn't know he was hiring lawyers. I didn't know he was hiring, long into the process of killing them. I didn't know that he had to sit around with this book forever. And he couldn't finish it until they were dead. And much to his credit, he showed up. They asked for him to come, and he did. And I think he watched the first execution. I don't think he did the second one, but he was there. Just a good film, just a good movie. And if you haven't watched the film with Robert Blake, that's on YouTube. You have to buy it though. But it's the one they made in the actual home of where the murders took place, in the actual town, with Robert Blake and Scott Wilson. If you haven't seen that, you should probably do it. So let's talk about Truman's run up to the top. He got Heather. It's been interesting. And do you know Heather? And after she received the critical acclaim for To Kill a Mockingbird, he was so upset that he didn't have anything to do with her after that. They've been childhood friends. Harper Lee took about 80% of the notes that he used to write In Cold Blood. He didn't do it. She would take him whenever they'd go, and they'd come home, and she was like typing them up for him. So were it not for Harper Lee, we wouldn't have an In Cold Blood. So then when your friend gets awards that you thought that you should have had and you didn't get, and you're mad at her, I mean, the hell are you? He was a little asshole. Sorry, he was. So let's talk about Anne Woodward and Billy Woodward. I'm not going to get into this a lot because there are books. There's actually a book out now called, what was it? Deliberate Cruelty. It's on Amazon right now. And it's about just Anne, I think, and Truman's relationship. You know, I'm going to get it. I can't wait to get it. Little man syndrome. Yeah. Yeah. But to be mad at your best friend because she got awards that you didn't. I'm not saying he didn't deserve them, but I was not on the committee. They did not ask me a fucking thing about it. So let me bring to the stage. Look, there's Anne and her husband, Billy Woodward. Anne and Billy Woodward. They're very, 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 I mean, aren't they beautiful? They are. I say that almost fact. They are so beautiful. And Anne came from Kansas. Nothing wrong with coming from Kansas. Nothing at all. She had, I mean, she did, they weren't poor. Her mother was one of the first women to graduate with a master's degree from, I think it's Kansas University. So, I mean, but, you know, that's not where Pittsburgh, Kansas is not where she wanted to be. So, she moved to Kansas City. And then she made her way to wherever everybody goes, New York. He was famous. He was still interested. He's so interested in, I mean, like, if you, all right, so we're only seeing some of the swans in this TV series. We're only seeing some of them. There were more. There were some that were richer than the ones we're looking at now. I mean, in fact, if y'all watch that the episode when he did the black and white ball, and a woman comes in, it's supposed to be Slim Keith's husband's, you know, second wife. She's going, some of us came from Europe. This can't be it. That is what actual people said that came. Some of it, I think one of the women and men, he ran Fiat over in the Europe, and they brought friends. And when they saw the dinner, they're like, "We came from Europe for this." But hey, some say it was absolutely the party of the century. Some people say it was a dud. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't invited, and I'll never forgive him for that. So anyway, here's Anne. Anne's gorge. There's her when she came to New York. She became let's see, what do you do when you come to New York and you're from Kansas? You're a model, dancer, showgirl, actress. She had all those titles. And she met because, let's see, I believe that while she was working at the Fifi Monte Carlo Club in Manhattan, she met a man named William Woodward Sr. And William Woodward Sr. was old money, and he ran a bank, and he was just so rich. And she became supposedly, let me put myself back here. Hold on. There we go. She became his mistress. Well, let me tell you some of the things that he liked. So William, let's see, he was into racehorses. Loved racehorses. Had a farm out there with racehorses, and he studded them up and he ran them, and that's what he loved. Now he had a son too. Oh, I remember the son. The son's name was Mr. Woodward Jr. And he met Anne through his father. And I'm gonna bet that I don't think the daddy said anything, but I don't know. He became, and like he fell in love with Anne, you know, he fell in love with her. She changed her name from, let me find out. I ain't gonna make fun of it, but it's funny. All right, so her birth name, right? Angeline Lucille Crowell. Mm. So she changed it to Ann Arden when she came to New York. Was probably a good idea. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The We'll get into that. I'm not going to get into that. Y'all read that book. It's a good one. So she fell in love with Billy Jr., not William, but Billy Jr. I guess she fell in love. I mean, I don't know. So their war broke out. He was in the Navy and he was over on the West Coast. So she made her way from New York over to the West Coast. His mother couldn't stand her. I wonder why. Because I think her mother knew that they had been having, the father and her had an affair. But what are you going to do? Elsie Woodward, the mother, Billy's mother, was she was one of three famous triplets. They had a lot of money and they were kind of an oddity as well. But anyway, so Billy had four sisters, older sisters. Senior was going to get that junior, and he did finally with Billy. So Anne was in love. Now, Elsie was not happy about this. Absolutely, profusely demanded it end right away. That's never works. So they became engaged. They announced their engagement on, I think it was March 8th. Hold on, I'll find it. March 8th. Hold on. March 8th. Why is that stuck in my head? Okay, I got it. Yeah, March 8th, and they got married literally 3 days after they announced the engagement. Ah, look at that! There's Isaac. Hello, Isaac, with your little eyes. I love to see your little eyes. Isaac, we're talking shit about people that are dead, but not me in a mean way. Well, kind of in a mean way. Yeah, I'm just kidding. All right. So, and then I'm going to talk about drama after this. You know why? Because I fucking feel like it. What is your name? Oh, that's not. Hey, Janica Love. Down in what are you trying to spell? You don't know I'm not that smart that I can do it all the way up. Night. Hey, Tennessee, honey. Okay. We got another watcher here. I'm talking about I'm talking about Truman, but I'm talking about specifically the Ann Woodward, Demi Moore. So, all right, we'll just get to it. They got an affair. They got married. Finally, the mother said, "Oh, all right, whatever. This is going to kill your chances socially, but whatever." She finally got Ann in society. She made them. Oh, let me tell you this. Bill was injured. There was a explosion, kind of a weird explosion on a boat that he was on, and he had. I think he got a lot of head injury out of that. And I'm not kidding. It completely changed him. So everything that he loved about Anne before, the head injury now, not so much. But they were already married. So what are you going to do? Truman says that Anne was pregnant when they got married. That is not true. They got married in 1948. Their child was born July 44. So that is not true. That is some a bad medicine. That's something that Ryan Murphy threw in there. It's not true. It might have been. I don't know. Capote might have said it. I don't know. I don't know at all. Let's bring them back up here and let's introduce them to the cast. All right, there's Anne. Now let's go through here. Now, if you look at this photograph, this was taken not long before the murder, because it was a murder, but it wasn't a murder in the sense of malice murder. It was an accident. So there's a horse race, and there you have it over here. If you can see, there's the Duchess. There's the Duchess of Windsor, and there's the Duke of Windsor, and he is looking absolutely thrilled to be there. Is he not? Over there on the right. Hello, Duke and Duchess. How are you? There's Billy up here. I need to move my thing. He's right there. He's looking like he is wanting to just kill everybody on sight. Oh, wait a minute. Hi. He looks like he wants to kill everybody, but he always did. This is what I hear when I do, when I'm talking to the royals. You know, when I do what I do. The two royal members of the family that you never want to be seated beside: the Duke of Windsor and Margaret, Princess Margaret. Hey, Rachel. So look at him. Ton of fun. You go, Dookie. He's the Dookie. Now I think this actually might be taken the day they got murdered. I'm not sure. They were at a dinner on Oyster Bay out in Long Island, where their huge house was, and they were going to a party for the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, a little dinner party. And bless her, there's their horse. What is it? I can't ever pronounce it. Thank you, Miss Audrey. Thank you, my love. He again, look at Billy, looking absolutely presently, just absolutely happy. No, not really. And there's Anne, because she is going to pretend there's nothing wrong no matter what. I think this was in better times right here, because he actually is looking at her somewhat lovingly. Hit issues. Yes, Janica. I want to talk about her one day, because let me tell you, that woman was something else. Okay. I don't know why I put this in this order, but I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to leave it just like this. So there had been a lot of burglaries in this Oyster Bay community, and pretty brazen burglaries in there. So Billy and Anne were kind of like all hyped up. They hadn't been broken into yet, right? So they're like, So they leave to go over to the party for the Duke and Duchess. And another thing that has happened is that Bill has told Anne that he wants a divorce. He has another person that he's in love with. And she was like, oh, okay, no. Basically, that's how it went. I want a divorce. I'm in love. Oh, okay, no. We're not going to do that. He knew he was kind of stuck. She was having affairs too, don't get me wrong. He had a lot of affairs. She had, her thing. Let me also add to you, they had two sons. At the time of this murder, at the time that Billy was killed, their sons were in that home, and they were, I think, 11 and 8. So they were little children. But there had been the rumors. They were all over the dinner party going, can y'all do the rumors? The burglaries. Oh, can you believe the burglaries? So, mind you, Anne is sitting at the table with the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. How did that happen? All the way from Kansas? I don't know, but it happened. She was very conscious of her social standing, as you would be, I guess. I don't know. So hobnobbing with royalty meant a lot to her. Now, Bill got a phone call at that dinner, and he got up from dinner, and they're all seated, all right? So this is not like, she got up a little bit better. 9 months, I love you, thank you. Oh, thank you. She sat there for a second and said, let me get up and go see what this somebody's doing. Oh, he was on the phone with his mistress. You don't think so? Let me tell you. She picked up a drink glass, like a mixed drink glass, a little short one. I don't know what they're called. Heavy, and threw it right at his goddamn head. In another room, not in the room with the dinner, but they fought in public. She did not care. She She would fight with him everywhere. You could see it right there in his damn looks, all the looks. He didn't care enough to fight. She did. She had a lot to lose. A lot to lose. So, eventually the party broke up. Here's the thing that would happen is if the Duchess of Windsor, a.k.a. Wallis Simpson, if she were to get up from a table, if she were to move to another room, her husband, the Duke, the king that was not, would follow her to find out what she was doing, to see what she was doing. She couldn't go anywhere without him doing that. Anywhere without him doing that. So they all go home. They all go home. And Billy goes to his room. She goes to her room. They both have guns because they're, the little burglar. Well, they were taking, and second all is right. Truman was right about that. They knocked themselves out. All good. Anne heard something on the roof or in the attic. She grabbed her gun. Now, I was trying to find the layout of the house, and you know what I thought about? It might be in this book. This book is old. Let me tell you what I look. Now, wait a minute. You see the highlighting? Because I did this. I was going to do this. I was going to do this before and this story, but anyway. So you'd be one down here, one down here. She gets up with her gun, right? Because she has heard something. Her bedroom, his bedroom were on the second floor. The children's bedroom were up on the third. The babysitter, nanny, whatever, was up on she was on the third too. So she opens up her door, right? And there is someone standing, a silhouette, in front of MS. She takes that thing full of buckshot. Now, y'all go tell me in a minute if I heard right. The gun is full of buckshot, which shouldn't have killed him, even if she walked up to him and shot him. But she shot it, right? And what killed him was one of those pieces of buckshot ricocheting off of something that was metal and went right into his temple. Dead. So let's look at his bedroom one more time. And you can see the blood there. He stumbled back and got in there. And you can see it right down there in between those two chairs. So, and if you look beside his bed, is that a gun? I don't know. It might not be. I was going to try and find out if that was a gun. So you see very little blood. That thing killed him pretty quick, but it was a ricochet. They said that the buckshot could, if she just shot him right straight in the chest with it, it wouldn't have killed him. It was the ricochet. So, this is from her room. Hey, thank you for 3 months. Hey, Rain Girl. Fairy Meadows. How you, baby? This is from her room. Quite lovely. Not so lovely. Okay, this is, let me make this big again. All right, so this is his sister over here. This is his father who died years before. I don't know why I have this right here. But there's his mother in the middle. Oh, yeah, Elsie. I mean, I don't, listen. Yeah. Here they are carrying Billy out of the home. So what happened instantly with this? It happened instantly. Is that now all those friends that she had and Billy had went away. They just went away because they knew he'd asked for a divorce. They knew she wasn't going to give him one. They knew he had a new love. Fairy Meadows, thank you, my love. And they knew she had a reason. She wanted to do it. If she had a reason because of all those things, right? So they take her mother-in-law, Elsie, has now got to make this tragedy involving her son, her beloved only son, right? She's got to try to make this look good. How are you going to make it look good? One, you're going to keep Anne away from cops and everything else. You got to keep her, you got to put her in a hospital, put her in a damn loony bin. So the family doctor came and they whisked her off to a New York hospital where she was guarded like, no other. Once, and then you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to bring the children in. This is the children going to visit their mother in the loony bin after she had just shot their father. They bring her a little basket. So they're very young, 8 and 11. I forgot who that man was. I want to say it's the family doctor. I read this book about 10 years ago, so I want to say, and I didn't even look at it today. I should have. So they go in and they try to cheer their mother up because the children need to be seen doing that, right, Elsie? Absolutely. Yes, we're going to get, all right. So the photograph says this is 3 years later, but I think that photograph might be wrong. I didn't get it out of the book. I got it offline. I think this is actually, so the grand jury, when they finally got in there to speak to Anne, they went to the grand jury with it, right? Anne came in and spoke to them, and they went out to, because who else was going to talk? She was the only one there. Also, though, let me tell you the other person that came. The burglar. The actual real burglar that had been burgling all the homes also appeared and said, I was, and said, I was on the roof. I was in the attic. I heard the shot. It scared me. The man who did it came through. You say there's no honor among thieves. He showed up. Now, did Elsie pay somebody to do that? I do not know. And I do not remember right now who got, how much time. That girl. I don't know how much time he got. But he said, I was on the roof. I was in the attic. And I heard the shot and I took off. So she has been, the grand jury was out for 30 minutes and came back and said, not going to charge. This is over. But it was never over, because you can look at that picture. Let me bring that back right up. You can look at that picture. That picture, freaking fabulous and bring it. That picture says it all right there. Now, this all happened in 1955. Thank you, says this happened in 1955. Okay, 1955. From 1955 all the way up, right, until her death, she was ostracized. She was ignored. The way they treated her is very much like The Feud. That's what they did to her. What killed her was one day she saw the Duchess of Windsor out somewhere, and I can't remember what. It might have been a restaurant, might have been a store. I don't remember. And she waved to her. And that woman looked through her. Enlightened rogue. That woman looked through her like she was nothing. So Elsie says to Anne, you're going to come and live in the home, it was a big spot. It wasn't like they were waiting on the bathroom, Elsie, are you going to be done in the bathroom soon? It wasn't like that. It was a huge home. She said, Elsie said, you and the boys will come here. The boys as well were ostracized by parents and their friends. The friends' parents wouldn't let them do anything with the boys, which was Woody and Jimmy. Woody and Jimmy. So they had to pay the price because everybody would rather have said this was a murder, on purpose murder, than accept the fact that she accidentally no, right. They would rather tell that story than they would she was exonerated, that the actual person that had been burgling all of them and all that was actually on the roof and heard, so that whole family was done. It was done. So come around 1975, and we've seen this if you watch The View. Oh, The View. Oh my God, The View. Truman Capote has climbed the social ladder as far as you can climb it, I would think, and not have their money and not have their connections. Because he went everywhere on their dime, as did the Windsors. That's another thing. The Windsors. If you invited the Windsors, you were going to get their fat asses to your house no matter where. You only invited them there if they were in the United States. Because if not, they would expect you to fly their ass from over there. They weren't going to pay for anything. If y'all went out, you were going to pay it. That's the way they were. That's the way Truman Capote was. He went everywhere on their dime. If you watch the show, you'll see when he's talking to John about Thanksgiving and he talks about Joanna Carson has bought them. Yeah, he was. He really was. So I'm going to clear up a little bit too, because again, Ryan Murphy is tiddling a little bit with facts to make it more dramatic, but it's pretty dramatic, So November 1975, November 1st, 1975 is when this copy of Esquire came out with him. He didn't even change her whole name. He just changed her last name to tell the story of her murdering, because that's the story he told all through. And Ryan Murphy said, we were close. It's not. They weren't really that close, So that, like I said, that came out November 1st, 1937. People did get an advance copy. Anne did not get an advance copy. Anne got the actual what was going in there. And she got that on October 10th. Because that's the day she killed herself with cyanide. So she did it a little bit before. She got the copy, not the, not the, here's the magazine, here you go. And she got the copy of it. So, meaning like this. So, I think she got it on the 8th or the 9th. And she committed suicide the absolute next, one of the next days. Now, I'm going to give you a quote from Elsie. Sorry. You found my quotes. I even put quotes on the top. Shouldn't be hard to find. All right. So she had one quote, and Miss Elsie. Here's the quote she put. This thing is bad, y'all. Listen to this. Elsie Woodward. This was a quote after Anne died. She shot my son. Truman just murdered her. And so now, I suppose, we don't have to worry about that anymore. That's touching. You saw, oh my God, right? I get carried away. I'm not doing as much as much note taken for the Lost Colony of Roanoke. I just don't need to. I mean, it's a pretty interesting story. And this week I've said, all right, enough. All right, I know what happened, on this trip. I don't need 17 other references to it. Yeah, she shot my son. Truman just murdered her. And so now I suppose we don't have to worry about that anymore. That is absolute. I'm gonna have to, I think I might want that on my urn. On my urn, I think so. That's so beautiful. That really is. There was one she did right after. She said one right after one that was like, man, she was like the queen of passive aggressive, but I reckon. All right, so here's the really, really, really sad part, okay? You remember we have the two boys, right? So she's lost her husband. I'm sorry, she's lost her son, Elsie. She's lost her daughter-in-law now. So all she's got is those boys. She's getting up there in age, just saying. So let's look at the children. William, aka Billy, was only 35 when he died. He was only 35. That's a baby to me right now. That's an infant. That's younger than my oldest daughter. Oddly enough, not oddly enough, and I remember reading it here, and I should have probably. Anyway, Anne was 5 years older than Billy. Halloween baby. But he was. That girl. You and me need to start a detective agency. I don't know what we need to do. He is an absolute, and I used to just like him because he was so funky and weird. And I love this book. I love, In Cold Blood. I loved my Fair Lady. I loved Breakfast at Tiffany's. I just found this that I bought way back in 2014. That I knew I had got it at the I knew I got to the local Goodwill. So William Moody Woodward. No, Woody. William. Let me go back. All right. Anne was 5 years older than Billy. I think I remember that, but then I don't know. So we have James T. Woodward. That's the first child. He was 11 years old when his father died. And can I just add that neither of those children woke up the night that she killed him? I don't know how that happens. So 8 years old at the time. No, sorry. 11 years old at the time of their father's death. He was 29 when his mother committed suicide. And at 31, he jumped from a 9-story window and killed himself. So Elsie had to bury another of her beloved, which was her grandson's. Now, after this, I think I got them wrong. No, I got it right. The other boy was 8 years old at the time of his dad's death, 28 at the time of his mother's death. He took his life the same way his brother did. He jumped out of a window at 54 years old. That whole family was annihilated. Whose fault was it, though? Was it society? Was it the grandmother who tried to hush and make everything look right and not really care if it wasn't right? Because back then you didn't do that. Julie, after that, you didn't do that back then. I don't know. But a family wiped out. It's a sad story. And that's why when she doesn't know that her sons are going to commit suicide, but she didn't know, oh, thank you, Halloween baby. What she does know is how they've had to grow up and how they've been treated their almost entire life. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm going to put this out again if anyone wants to discuss. I do so well. It is so sad. This is one of those things where money cannot buy you happiness. It can rent it, lease it. It can lease it, but having all the money in the world doesn't. Let me see if there's any more photo. I know there's more photographs. I put some up with that. There you go. There you go. Now, if you are watching again The Feud on FX and or Hulu, this is from the Black and White Ball. And if you don't think that those people in Ryan Murphy's camp did not nail this woman right here that was indeed the guest of honor at his Black and White Ball, they nailed her. I mean, they dug her up, put some makeup on her, slapped a dress on her, and send her out. For real, for real. Absolutely nailed it. So these are just kind of like the little things that I want to do that like are a little interesting to some. I don't care if they're interesting to 500 people, as long as they're interested to us. That I want to start throwing. And my Jean. No, I don't think she did. No, not especially when and let's say let's just pretend, right? Let's just pretend that Elsie paid that guy to say, yeah, I was on, I was this. Well, I don't think she did. Thank you for 5 months. I don't think she did because he had a record. I mean, how is she, it's not like today and we can pump up somebody's name and, everything falls out. Yeah, he did want a divorce, but what, I don't know. Could that have been saved? Probably not. They were both having affairs. So, but Elsie, I mean, if anything, Elsie shot it because she needed that shit to be tamped down. You can't do this. We cannot have this, this news. No divorce. No. So the person that really had the damn motive for it would be his mama. And she wasn't there. So I don't know. This has always been, when I read this book, it's very interesting. Obviously goes into a lot more than me just, they got heavily into the horse racing. They're heavy. He and his father loved that stuff. But I only need to show you the photos of him with absolutely no, except for that one. There's one he's doing. That's his beloved horse that just won. He's like, whatever. Here he is right here. Hello. Can y'all see him or is it just me that can't see him? Let me see. Every time I do something, I get, oh shit. Cancel that. What the hell is that? Edit layout. I should probably not do that either. Oh, this book. Yes. Now listen, there's a new one out. That's called Deliberate Cruelty. If you look, it's on Amazon. I'm going to be buying that book. This is the one from, hold on, I'll let you know. This is from 1992. And it is, hold on. Y'all can't see me. I'm holding it up. This Crazy Thing Called Love by Susan Brody. I would think that the one out now, Deliberate Cruelty, would probably be a better book. I don't know, though. Because this really just goes on to them. He was even under the impression that she had a husband that she married before she came out to New York. That's not true. It's not true. But he was damn sure looking for him out there. Billy went out to Kansas and all that looking for that husband he'd heard about. And he never found him. Because I don't think he existed. He was trying everything he could. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, yep. You never know. The Woodward either way. So anyway, tomorrow the show comes on too. It comes on Thursdays. New episodes on Thursdays. So if nobody has anything else they would like to cover, I've already stated my he says he's there. Okay, love, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. If the sun was home from where? Hold on. Didn't. Well, okay. Yeah. It's in Right and Rogue, I will answer that more fully. It was suggested that that happened. But let me see if I still have one. He died in I want to say 1953. I want to say 1953. I might be wrong. Because I do not have that in my nuts. I don't have it in my nuts. Yeah, I don't think I even wrote that down. But I'm pretty sure. So it was right after he would have been around for a little bit after they got married. In case anybody's wondering about that. He would have been around for the first one, I believe. Well, the second one, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, this family is fucked up from 900 ways. It's no different from a family day in the street. Like I said, well, every time I read one of these books about these, elite, social, ultra rich, and y'all just as effed up as the rest of us. That's all. You just as effed up as the rest of us. Who was it that died? Somebody died recently. 5th grade math. Oh, Lord. 5th grade math. Oh, word. I'd have been trying to make a call. What is it? What is that thing for phone a friend? Phone a friend. Yeah, deeper and darker. I think you're right. It's so much more in line, that girl. It is, especially back in this part of New York's cafe society. There was a lot to lose, and Anne lost a lot the minute that gun left the floor. She had to by her bed, a shotgun. She lost everything. She lost her husband, but then again, after she thought about that for a little while, she might have thought, "What? I'm sorry I did it," but he was trying to, leave me. So what the fuck? They have so much more to lose. Maybe that's it. They have so much more to lose. If you like just yourself and nobody cares, and you don't know. I don't know. Don't get me stumbling. They never. Well, yeah, exactly. There was a purpose. And I don't. I've had people that I, went to school with, friends I've worked with, whatever. And they have all gone, and this is the answered prayers part that I get so much. More tears have been shed over answered prayers than unanswered prayers. And that is the damn truth. 100% that is the truth. That's why it was such an amazing title for him to do this, this book. Now let's talk about this book for a second. I have it out there. I'm finding it really hard to get going in the first couple of pages. He's weaving his story right now, but because I know what's coming and I can't understand how he's going to, interlock all this, that's effing me up a lot. So, but it's just a small book. It's 150 pages. That's it. Did he finish that book? I don't know. He says he did. He told a lot of people that he did. Did he? I don't know. Nobody found it. Nobody found it. Everybody was tearing up everything trying to find that book, and it has never been found. He had that much money. Well, you know what, that girl, here's what got me is, all right, he had the book deal for answered prayers. He had the first book deal. He didn't meet the deadline. Obviously, they paid him anyway. They paid, up front the first little bit of it. Then he misses the second one. And these are years apart. I'm not saying, oh, you can't get it done this week. Can you get it done next week? No, these are years apart. And they give him another advance on the second one. The third one, they want to pay him $1 million for 3 books. He ain't wrote the one yet. So, had he run out of talent by then? One has to wonder. Was his longtime companion Jack, who he absolutely treated like shit, but Jack looked after everything, and Jack kind of took a step back, like, if you want to do this. Yes, they did get worse. And Heather, when he accepted that 1 million or $250,000, or maybe it's $750,000, I think it's $1 million, for the 3 books, when he hadn't even produced the first book yet. I mean, a damn expensive books, but unanswered. I mean, shit, answered prayers was going to be huge. You know why he was broke? Because he was trying to live like the people he'd been living off of when they stopped. You know, when they stopped paying his fucking bills, stopped taking him around the world, stopped flying him here and there. Oh, and he still wanted to live that life. And he was broke. He was willing to promise anything. So I think so. I really do. I really do. So yeah, he was I don't put a lot of always with me, I am not going to, when you are an adult person, right? And you continue to blame your childhood for your issues now. No. I don't care how bad they are. No. Because there comes a time when you have to accept the responsibility of what you're doing now and not blame it on something that happened 25 years ago. It's okay to do it. You know, everybody does it. Then there comes a point where you got to brush off and go on with your life. I don't think that he did that. That's why when I think about this book that I'm getting ready to read, this might be right there. There we go. And there's the front. I don't care about a lot of the beginning of it. He was raised by, yes. He was loved, Heather. They loved him. And, you know, when his mother got remarried, I don't know how many times, and they took him from there to New York, all right, because his mother wanted to be one of these ladies. And her husband made good money. I'll say good money, but not Bill Paley good money. And of course she was going to be shunned. You know, that happens. It ain't right. It ain't good, but it's going to happen. So what did he do? You know, is he going to claim, well, he didn't write this book. George Plimpton wrote this book. So yeah, about that. I'll find out and hear what the hell he blames it all on, because it'll be something. And I'll find out, and then I'll come here and be mad. I'm never going to allow her in. What? She couldn't afford it. She couldn't afford one dress to go to lunch with them. And I'm not being mean. These women had money, and it was never going to run out. You have, you know, Lee Raswell, Jackie Kennedy's sister. You know, people don't sneak into places, you know, with people like that, except for Truman. He snuck in. He was the court jester, pretty much. And then he got upset about how he was seen by them. Do you know what? All right, I think it's in the house beside where Elsie Woodward and them lived it was the house out in Oyster Bay on Long Island. Beside their house, behind Billy and Ann's house, 60 acres, by the way, 60 acres, country gardens, meadows, horse runs, pretty nice piece of property. Beside them were the Rockefellers, right? And the Rockefellers, didn't really have much to do with Billy and them because, they were poor. They were poor. So the Rockefellers like, we don't want to be your friend. And please, So, again, you're never going to be happy. If that's the way you're living, you're never going to be happy. You got to be not being mean, but it was incredibly high. And the way he spoke and his mannerisms were very feminine. He was very feminine. Extremely effeminate. And here's the thing, it was his real voice. That's the way he talked. In Alabama, no wonder he got damn bullied. If you're born with it, I don't know. I mean, how does that come out of somebody? Can you imagine this story? Janica, I've dreamed about that. Actually, in Paris, I don't know if it's still there though, but I think so. Paris let the Duke and Duchess of Windsor lease a home that was in the middle of a park, and I'll tell you who bought it. Dodi Fayed's father, who owns I'm losing my words today. What damn store is that? Come on. Come on, Shannon. Dodi Fayed's dad owned Harrods. All right. And of course, Mr. Fayed loved anything royal. So he goes over the France, Paris, France, has leased this beautiful home in the middle of a beautiful park to the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. You can go online and look at it. It's a quite beautiful home. When the Duchess died, right? And I think that maybe France was deciding what to do with the house. What do you do with it? It needed work. So Dodi Fayed's father bought it, lock, stock, and barrel, which means you could go over there and pull out a drawer, and it was her underwear and her slips. His clothes are still on, Now I'm sure you can't get in there, and I don't. And actually, Dodi Fayed's dad, I can't believe I can't remember his first name. Anyway, he just recently passed away. Dodi's dead. I don't know about the other kids, but he was so, you could go in there and you could look at her shoes. You saw the bed that he died in. You saw the bed that she died in, which made me mad in the Crown. I got so mad when I watched that because Wallace Simpson was a twat. Oh, does he have to? Okay, good. I'm glad because I don't want it to go nowhere. She and the Duke of Windsor was an idiot. Like really something wrong with him. She was a twat. And so together they were trapped. Literally. She was trapped. He didn't know any better. She didn't want to marry him. Right? She did not want to marry him. She kept writing letters right before I think it was the night before his abdication. She said, I'm leaving. Don't come find me. You're not doing this. And he said, if you leave me, I will kill myself. I wonder now if she ever rethought that. And I'm not being mean. She ever rethought that. Should have probably just let him do it. And I'm not being mean. I am being mean, but. So you can go for probably a mere $45,000 billion and buy the house and roll around in it. It's still, if you go look at pictures of it, it's beautiful. But I want to do one about the Windsors because a twat and a twit. Lately you've just named the whole life that I'm going to have about that. The twat and the twit. That's it. I'm writing it down. Twat and twit. When I watched The Crown, I would get so mad. He did not die in her arms. He did not die in his wife's arms. He died in the arms of a nurse who came from Baltimore like she did, but no, you couldn't bother. Wallace didn't want to get up. So he died in the arms of a nurse from Baltimore and not his wife from Baltimore. Number one. Number two, no. As dumb as they were, and they were dumb. And they were dumb. In those later years, when I think the woman who plays Wallace in the later years of The Crown is Charlie Chaplin's youngest daughter, actually. Was it Una? Anyway. No. Wallace was already exhibiting a lot of dementia, Alzheimer's, whichever one she had, when he died. So when she flew over when little dove, when the queen, said, "Yeah, we'll let him be buried here, but he's not going into the chapel. He'd have that corner over near that tree," and that's where they are. I know, and like she was I've got a book. Believe it or not, no, Shannon, you don't. I do. And it's called Dancing with the Devil. And all right, so the lovely heiresses that I just Doris Duke, my favorite, Barbara Hutton, Gloria Vanderbilt, she could have learned a lot from the other ladies, but Barbara Hutton had a cousin named Jimmy Simpson, I think it was. I'm wrong. His name's Jimmy, I know that. Now, Wallace became absolutely obsessed with him. He was flagrantly gay, all right? And she had to be where he was. If he went out to the nightclub, she went out to the nightclub. If they were going out to a big thing and the Duke, she would send the Duke home around 9 o'clock. Thank you, little dog. Yeah, she would send him home. No, she ain't gonna fuck with him. And she was obsessed with this man. Obsessed. So he, what caused the breakup of that friendship was this. I think that Jimmy had built a sex dungeon, and don't we all, in the basement. I have mine right here. You can't see what's going on over there. And as dumb as the Duke of Windsor was, he did have a great sense of, I don't know what you call it. So he takes them down there, right? I mean, people are running around his party, and they're like, no. Then they're having dinner, and Jimmy kicks Wallace under the table as hard as he can when she says something. And it blew by. It blew by the Duke. And that's when the Duke stood up and said, "This is it. No more. Goodbye. No, you're not doing this to my wife." In fact, I got to read that book too. I have to get off YouTube for the rest of the year, and then just see y'all next January. I'll see y'all next January when I'm all read. And I'll tell you, I'll just spend that year telling you about books I've read, and then go back. Oh, honey, the flu was horrible. Yeah, my daughter had it. And it was bad. It was so bad. But get your flu shots. Just kidding. Well, yeah, Janica, they inbred for so long. I mean, up until, not too long ago. What's the name of the book? Wait a minute. Little Dove. All right, so which book? Wait a minute. Because I've just talked about like 3 of them. What's the name? Which one? Which I could go pull out my Duke of Windsor, Duchess of Windsor books over there, and y'all be like, Shannon, stop it. Just stop it. Yeah, kicked her under the table. It made her bleed. Which book? Dear darling, my little dove, my little dove. Oh, Andrew, who can't sweat. I saw him sweating. Saw him sweating in that interview. You know what I loved about the Queen, though? Here's what I loved about Queen Elizabeth. She got wind of this, right? It went public, yeah. There comes Here comes Andrew to work. Doty Dodo, probably carrying his lunch. Yeah, carrying his lunch. Goes to his office. All his shit's in a box. Bye. You don't have a job no more. What title for what? I got I got 37 books up here. I've got this one. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. This crazy thing called love. There's one online about Anne and Truman that is called Deliberate Cruelty. It's a newer book. I've got Dancing with the Devil. That's about Barbara Hutton's cousin and the Duchess and the Duke. The Dick. So I don't know which one you mean. I don't know. Play with my hair. And it takes it took my daughter over a week to get over it. It was like 3 days of horrible, maybe 4. And then, that's 3 or 4 days of yuck. It was so horrible. And you know what? Here's what I kept saying. It was so horrible. I kept saying, one twist made his mother knew Billy was off to injury. Yeah, Teresa knows. Teresa knows. No, something. The royalty. I know I'm talking. It's like I was there, Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to tell you about a little royal dinner I went to last week. I wonder if Harry and William will make up. I hope so. Yeah, Tiwi, I can imagine that. She's 18 and it took her down. I don't know. I need that in my life. I love gossip about things that do not affect me. I've grown up about that. Some people are not excited about that, but I am. I am all for gossip that does not involve me. And it's much smoother going. You can chart your path a lot easier when you're not worried about, oh, so-and-so is doing this and they said that. I don't care. I could care less. I should though, but I don't. If it's not going on these walls, I don't care. Yeah, Kels, it's like I told Pirate and them, I said, I'm growing up. I don't like it. I'm growing up. I'm only 55, so it's so. Julie Porter. I bet it was. See, she was my queen. Of course, I'm in America. She was my queen. And then we shouldn't talk about, oh God. And then you have my grandmother, who's 102, who is my actual queen. But I would always talk because they have the same hair. They have the same hairdo. And so when Queen Elizabeth passed away, I'm like, I'm down to one. And then if my grandmother passes away, I don't know that she will because she is 102. I won't have any. Then I'll be the queen. Maybe that's what I want. That's maybe I'm waiting for me to be the queen. Oh, that'd be good. I do have a crown over there. I should wear it. I might wear it on F It Up Friday. Why not? I might wear it. Well, all right. I'm gonna head out of here. I want to thank y'all for all of the memberships and all of the comments and all of the no drama. And wasn't it fun though? Yeah, anytime we can just laugh. But the next time somebody get your ass up here. Somebody get your ass up here next time. State of disorder. She better come on. So I will see you Friday. If I get up Friday, I will see you for a chill Saturday Night Mysteries. We're going to talk about the Lost Island of Roanoke, which is pretty interesting. I didn't know a lot of this stuff, but it's not overwhelming. Aw, you're great, Jenica. Thank you. Please stay safe. Last night we had bad storms. My son is in Cincinnati. My best friend, thank you, Vet. My best friend Pirate is in Louisville. And so they both had tornado warnings. I was like, oh, Jesus, no. So I think that's all past. So I will see you. Next Saturday is the Lost Colony of Roanoke. It is very interesting. This is so. I'll tell you one thing. There were 3 attempts to build this settlement on the wrong spot. 3 attempts on the wrong spot. And this happened 17 years before Jamestown, the Lost Colony of Roanoke. Just to put it in perspective, attempt 3, and 17 years later, they say, let's move up the coast. You want to? So it's still a big question of what happened to these people. It was 115 people, men, women, and children. Nary a grave anywhere near. The governor left to get more supplies because just come on. It's pretty good, man. It's a pretty good one. It's a little chill one. We've been real heavy the last couple of times, murders and guts and shit like that. I'm just going to do a little one that, it's kind of a fun, I say fun, but, kind of ways. It's a pretty good mystery, I think. So if y'all want to, I'll be at the, okay. Well, Kels, I love you, and I hope you have a great time up at the cabin. And please be careful. All of you be careful. And I will see you either Friday or Saturday, one or the other. I love y'all. Like a cool way. I love you. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Bye.